everyone, in today's video I'll be showing you how to draw a realistic dog's eye using colored pencils. Now you may recognize this drawing. This is actually a portrait I did recently of a German Shepherd, but I just wanted to basically show you or highlight the part about the eye just to give you a little bit more detail of how I could draw the eye and some of the techniques I use, as well as slowing down the video so you can get a better look at how I've created this. If you want to see the other video, you will find it on my channel for the full portrait. So what I'm doing now is over the sketch that I initially created, I'm starting to basically map out the darkest areas of the eye, that is including the pupil as well as the iris, and I want to just get those dark areas as dark as possible and just basically give myself an indication of where the shadows are and where I'm going to be having the darkest areas. I'm paying close attention not to cover the areas that are going to be the highlighted areas or the areas that are going to have other colors. I'm looking constantly at my reference photo and following it as close to as possible as I can. Now I'm just basically adding some of the fur details around the eye. That just helps me to get a better feel for this drawing as I'm progressing with it. That's just something that I personally do with all my drawings. Okay, so now I've added a light blue for the areas that are going to be the highlighted areas. That's the light, or areas that are going to have the light hitting the eye and the light hitting the fur around the eye. So I'm using a blue that's going to enhance it and make it really pop out. And now I'm going through with a light brown just to cover the base of the pupil, and then I'm going through with a medium brown over that and a tan color. That's just to create a bit of variety of color. And I'm going to also be adding some shadow areas, especially where the eyelid overlaps the eye. And I'm also adding a little bit of reddish brown. Remember, I'm paying close attention to my reference photo as I'm adding the colors, and I'm looking for colors that are close to the ones that I used in my reference photo. I'm also using the darker colors to create that shadows and really let those shadow areas be dark, using the brown or the darkest brown I have and the black. And there I'm just using a Filbert brush with a little bit of Odourless mineral spirits just to blend the color pencil. Now a quick tip: when you are using Odourless mineral spirits, let it dry completely before continuing with the layering process. Otherwise you can damage the truth of the paper. And also you could have a very dark, the pencil can go on very dark if the paper is still damp. So now I've just went over and really defined those darker areas, as well as added a bit more blue to the highlight or the highlights of the eye. Remember, the eyelid is over the eyeball, so you will have a really dark area on the top of the pupil. That is just so that you can basically, those shadows, if you put it in, it brings the more realism and three-dimensional look to your eye drawing. So like I've previously said, there's no specific color you need to use. What I do is, if I look at the reference photo and I need a particular brown, I'll reach for the brown, try it out. If that brown is not what I'm looking for, I'll take another pencil and use that over. But start with a light hand. That way you can add another color over it and it can cover that pencil. So use a light hand when applying the pencil so that you do not basically add too much pigment to the paper initially, especially if it is maybe the wrong color. If you're using another pencil over and if it's light, you can just blend over it and you will not even see that you use the wrong color. In fact, it may add to your three-dimensional look and give it more depth because you use multiple layers. Remember, color pencil is a layering process, so you can constantly add more and more layers. But as you can see with the eye, I didn't need that many layers, but I did use a variety of different colors. But once again, you need to pay close attention to your reference photo to see what colors or the closest colors that you can get according to what you see in your reference photo. So now I'm just basically working on the fur around the eye. And obviously I added a bit of white onto the highlighted areas where I colored it in with the light blue, just so that I can get those highlights to really stand out. And then now I'm just going over those areas with the mineral spirits to blend out the fur. As I said, this is a layering process. This is just the initial layers of the fur. If you watch the other video with the full portrait, you will see how many layers I had to put on to end blend to create a realistic looking portrait. So I guess that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to like and share. Feel free to comment below and don't forget to subscribe. Till the next one, bye.